Let's talk about the southern border here, guys, because deportations are surging under the second Trump administration, something the voters asked for: close the border. DHS says upwards of 332,000 deportations have already taken place. The New York Times is reporting removal numbers jumped to 1,500 a day this month. That puts the Trump administration on pace to deport at least 400,000 illegals in his first year back in office. Now, this is, of course, because of the ramp up of summer immigration arrests. These numbers, the Trump administration now has announced that they're going to review the 55 million U.S. visa holders currently in the country to determine if anyone is committing potentially deportable offenses, subjecting them to, quote, continuous vetting. Elizabeth, now they acknowledge this is going to be time consuming to do this, but just to give you some numbers here, 12.8 million green card holders are currently in the country. 3.6 million people are currently here on temporary visas.
Look, I don't like, again, the way the media is reporting this. People should understand they're looking into illegal overstays, criminal activity, those that sympathize with terrorists. They're not looking at folks like my parents, right, who fled Russia, came here 40 years ago and have lived quiet, hardworking, proud American lives. This is literally, like you said, what the American people voted for. We want law and order. We want a country that is safe. We want a country full of people proud to assimilate and be here and be hardworking Americans who follow the law and don't put any others in harm's way. This is literally what the people voted for. It's going to take time and resources, but Donald Trump wants to answer to the folks that put him back into the Oval Office.
Yeah, no, and then the numbers reflect that. Do you think there's any political risk to when you start to go after, say, nannies and restaurant, bodega workers, and that, that's what the mainstream media is really focusing their reporting on. They say that they're throwing out all the good people, which we know that's not true,
right,
but that's their messaging.
Right. The problem is, you talk about political risk. It doesn't seem like they've been right on that political risk for 10 years now, because Democrats are losing numbers across the country. So obviously the mainstream media is not in touch at all with reality or with any real Americans, right? They're talking to New Yorkers on the street who are excited for socialism. No one is talking to the average American who voted for Donald Trump to get food back on their table, money back in their bank accounts, and their kids able to walk to school safely. That's all.
Yeah. Well, no, and back to the story in New York City that John brought up. My building last night, we had Mondami canvas workers that illegally entered our building. This is my building, and they were going floor to floor and knocking on doors. Needless to say, my neighbors were not happy this morning or last night. All right, we're just getting started this hour. Coming up, futures poised for a bounce.